Okay, I think we can start. I will a little bit zoom in. Welcome everyone. Today is the 29th of April 2026. My name is Adam Rosman and I will be your host today on the Metal3 participant list. We don't have any new participants to so on to the. If you would like to have the project with contributions or by creating issues, that would help us greatly, but please use the flags or labels on the issues. Please don't use the good first issue label. Let's try to avoid the AI bots. Then if you feel that your organization would be ready to publicly acknowledge the adoption of MetaCube, then please do that and push a pull request and modify the adopters.md file in the community repository and add your organization similarly to the others to this table of adopters. If your test related problems on your pull request
Adam, your voice is
or on a periodic test, then please one repository and link that issue to the MetaCube CI tracker project.
Can you hear me, Adam?
And that would are interested about any other
statistics. Can anyone hear me or no?
I can hear you, Adu.
Yeah. Okay. Your voice is getting randomly, Adam, sometimes. Like
okay.
It's pretty random, but there is something wrong there.
Okay. Well, I will try to quickly check if there is something I can do with that. But where was I? Yeah, I was talking about the docs. So, yep, everyone knows the drill. Please follow the links. And I will try to make my one thing I will try is this. Okay. Then maybe it was maybe just because I was alt tabbing. So maybe if I just stay on this page, it will be better. Okay, so let's continue then with the working group updates. Is there anyone from any working group who would like to give an update? Okay, I guess no one. And then next one is the release team. Any info about the new releases? We will talk about the RCs a little bit later. But anything else? I see some IRSO comments.
Yeah, it was from me. It's just Himanshu is out today, and that's why we haven't finalized 0.9. Otherwise, it's pretty ready.
Yeah, sure. Would you like me to publish it? I have the right, so I can publish it if you want, because I think that's the only thing left if the notes have been merged.
I would double check the checklist. I can do it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Just check that we have actually done all the steps.
Okay, then feel free to do it. Then I think other than that, the RC releases will be happening tomorrow. So we will need to discuss some details related to those. And Mushu already copied these two issues. These are the only two issues that are still hanging around in BMO. Quite a lot was merged today. I'm just checking for Mosher, but yeah, I see he's not here. So he asked me to bring these up then. So one of these, I think this will be my issue. Yeah, so during the day, I investigated the two blockers that you highlighted, Dimitri. Is that we kind of clarified this kernel append params that is
Enemy disappearing all the time. I'm
a
afraid
key
I'm
part
losing
of
most
this
of the
feature.
information you're saying.
Okay. Adil, can you share? I will try to turn off my sharing, and then maybe that will help.
Yes, I can share.
Yeah, thanks. I will stop the sharing. Maybe that will help. Or maybe you already took it. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so open the link, please. And yes. Yep. And then if you go down, it was a review 5 days ago. It's above the hold command. So there is a hold command. Yeah, that one you are looking at. Yes. Yeah. So it seems like that there is some underlying that made this kernel append params disappear, but without this feature also. So I wrote down what I tested and what I noticed. And yeah, I guess I cannot really do anything with this other than start to investigate this problem. If this is a deal breaker for you. So Dimitri, if you say that you won't remove the hold unless this mechanism is fixed, whatever is causing this problem, then I guess this feature won't get into the RC, because we can discuss the other point about the access details and whatnot, but this is the more serious issue.
I mean, are you comfortable with merging it like that yourself? Because we are basically saying that the value can disappear at a random point, which means it may not work, for example, on final cleaning. Probably won't work on the final cleaning.
We supposed to audit back on every registration, every reconcile. So
Yeah, but you say it disappears.
it disappears, but what I can like see from the disappearance that it seemed to be connected to the reconcile loop. So if it's reconciling, then it disappears, but we audit all back also on every reconcile. So that kind of mitigates it. But yeah, I again, I can respect your reasoning, because this might really cause some sort of edge case, but it hasn't so far. I done like inspections and provisionings and cleanings and all these things. It didn't cause a problem. The parameter was there for long enough, but again, I cannot to say like say it for 100% that it would never cause a problem.
Right. So what if we just address my comments the way they are, like drop access details and just set a value, like set the plain value? And because we already know that ironic is probably not masking it, it's something inside BMO, so it shouldn't be a problem that you just set it. It should still work for you. It should be doable like today, as I can review in a couple of hours. And
Yeah,
is there any problem with that?
if that fixes the issue, yeah, that I can try. That I can try to do it directly. I think it was. I'm just wondering where would I move it then. But anyways, I can try to do it without the access info stuff, and we can check if that helps on the helps with this disappearing value. I'm not sure about that, to be honest, that it will help, but I can try that.
Yeah, well, at least it's not going to make things worse, right? If you just set the value directly, it may not fix the disappearing problem, but at least it will resolve the concern of us potentially changing driver info too often.
You would change driver info anyways, just differently, because if we cannot resolve the disappearing parameter, then you would need to patch that field all the time, same way. You wouldn't patch all of them, of course. You would patch then one, but the number of calls would be the same. But whatever, that at least would fix the concerns with the access details, if nothing else.
Yeah, let's give it a try. Let's see where it brings us. We can probably wait a bit more. Yeah, I feel quite uncomfortable merging it based on your information that it disappears at a random point and it may work for inspection, but may, for example, disappear right before cleaning, and then what happens?
Yeah.
At least until we have a rough idea why it disappears. I left one question in the code that may actually hint you if you scroll down, because you have a few lines that surprise me. Anyway, if you could scroll down to my latest comment. More, please. Yeah, I was surprised you actually checking this, because why do you assume info can be new? But if you do assume it can be new, that's probably where their point where things are removed, because if info is new, you're removing you're removing the value. If it cannot be new, then why are we doing this?
Yeah, but so for me, this value disappears without even using my feature. So without even retrieving or doing anything. Like even if I don't even fill my spec field, then
Does it work this way with
it,
any value you could potentially set, or only with this value? Like if you set foobar and driver info, does it disappear on this?
does the Ironic API accepts random value?
Yes.
So if okay, then I will test that. I have not tested with the random value. I tested with like just changing. So yeah, I can just test with random value and see what happens. But yeah, okay, I will investigate it further. If then I guess we can go ahead with the RC without this. I really don't want the RC to be blocked because of my change. There is only one other stuff apart from this. Yeah, this other link. Are you sure is this the one, Adil? Can you please go back? Is it the? It's not. I don't think this is the. Is this the current? No, it's last week.
Okay. Sorry, my bad.
Yep. There it is. 3181. Just down to the discussion topics.
So Adam,
this one.
Take another look at set deploy image, because set deploy image explicitly initializes this kernel parameter key already without your patch, initializes to new. And that may be the risk there. Maybe you don't update it on all potential code paths, because there's currently only one code path which sets it to not new value, but it is set to new by default. Is that a very clear explanation why it gets removed without your patch? Because without your patch, BMO already is opinionated about kernel append params. It already clears it up. So that is absolutely explainable, and you're not going to see that with just foobar. So that is definitely it.
Yep. Yeah, I will check that. Yep.
I mean, I'm sure we can probably resolve it today and merge the whole thing tomorrow morning and still release with RC with it, but up to you.
Yeah, I will try. I will try. I don't know how quickly I can like do it and test it, but I will attempt. I do it, like try it. Yeah, this is the other one.
Yeah, I don't feel very hard about fitting it into the RC, to be honest. If you don't have cycles for do that, I don't have an immediate requirement to do this. If you can focus on fixing the other one, then just let's us focus on that and delay this until the next release. I don't have any pressing need for it.
Okay. Then I guess that's all of them. These two, not nothing more.
Okay, one thing I want to add, we did a beta release for CapM3 last week, and in that release we have a new API of CapM3, and there is a migration guide for migrating from V1 beta to 1 to V1 beta 2. So when you upgrade, you can still use V1 beta 1 if you want, but if you want to migrate to beta 2, you need to check this guide. So I just wanted to inform here in the meeting. Yep, that's mostly from here.
Okay, thanks, Adil. What do we have in the discussion topics? We have some review requests from Elaine related to, I guess, the switch topic.
Yeah, this is the Tupper Rack networking work. So I just want to stop by today. I haven't been here in a couple of weeks. So I just want to say thank you for the reviews so far on the ironic image, which got merged, and the smaller fix that I got in last night or this morning. And just wanted to remind folks that these two are outstanding and need some review attention. I understand that you know, the BRC stuff is a higher priority, so obviously not trying to get that in for that, but if we get this reviewed at some point.
Yep, certainly. I would also encourage everyone to please take a look. This is quite big. So for me, it's still a bit much at the moment, but maybe. But folks, don't wait on me or Dimitri. Just go ahead and review it.
Okay, I think this one is related to the same one, right? So
Yes, it's the same like feature set. Just one is in the IRSO and one is in the BMO.
yeah, so we can move to this one.
Yep.
Yeah, hi folks. For some reason I thought that we already have a release, so does it make sense to put it in the release that early? But I do would like to highlight this for review. Maybe some questions. Some people didn't have time to meet us on the last time that I was talking about this, so maybe there are some questions you want to ask.
Yep. Is there anyone who has questions related to the like opening up or improving the plugin system for provisioners, or I would say like establishing it?
I'm all for this idea, actually. We discussed this already. But I think what we need as a community, if we decide to go forward with this, and I think we should, because Provisioner was also designed to be a plugin. We just never actually did plugin part. we need to agree on whether we consider the provisioning API stable API and generally how we behave with regards to changing to the provisioner API, because we probably are going to change it quite frequently. And it's going to be good to have some sort of a policy, what we do with these changes, how we inform people about them, do we consider some sort of deprecation periods and stuff?
I think we've talked about similar question last time, but in general, if we go with the specific implementation, it will strictly enforce the use case of this specific plugin built against this specific release. So basically, each time we ship a new binary of BMO, it means like you need to rebuild the plugin system against it. So there is no actual need to have this like +1 release, +2 release stability, because older plugins will not work. Basically, you need to rebuild them, and if we change the interface, okay, I mean, update your plugin.
Yeah, I guess the versioning of the provisioner interface is already handled by the releases, and then like everything else is basically handled by the build process, if I understood correctly. So you have to build it into your BMO.
Yeah, basically, you need to build Auth3 CI system that will fetch somehow, either manually bump or like automatically bump the new release of the BMO binary and build against it. And if it fails, probably interface change, and then you need to adopt your code to it.
Yeah, it's clear from my side. Anyone else? Any questions? More questions or reflections? Okay, I guess the discussion will continue a little bit, and this is just like initial change. So who knows where this will take us in the future? But
Yeah,
in general, I think
this is very baseline thing to continue against. Yes, I would like to have it as soon as possible. I mean, after the release, of course.
yeah, I agree. Okay, Adel, I think you can go back. Yeah, and that was the last one. Is there anyone who would like to bring up any discussion topics that's not on the list? Okay, then we can continue. Please open the needs triage one. And I will also go there and try to check this from my side. Kind of put your window next to my window.
We are going from the oldest to the newest. Maybe it makes sense to do the other way around, start with the newest.
Yes. Yeah, I think we have on top this branch protection rules for release 35. I think this is a no-brainer. We can accept that. And
should I do it, or you are doing the try accepted?
I think I can do it. You
Okay.
just please show the full list of them and then open when I mention that. Yep. So this will be a task, and I will refresh this one. Okay, it's already visible for you. So that was triage. cube weird. Metal3. Yeah, I think this is a clear question. So we can accept this one as a question. I'm not sure if we have a kind command for that, but if not, I will add it manually. Yes, yeah, kind question. We have a label for that. Okay, we can continue. Plug in the Pixie config template rendering. Yes, I will put here triage needs information just because two more code for Nicholas to answer this one. I wonder if this was the proper. Is it updated for you now, right? I will.
Yes, it's updated.
It's updated. Okay. It's information quite slow. Okay. Then next one. Ironic image strategy for release branches. We are currently testing the latest images of the ironic. Okay, that's not enough to close. Okay, I think this we can accept. I mean, we would need to sort this out. I agree. And this is kind CI. This is even like feature level in my opinion, and this can be already assigned to the BMO milestone for 14. Just so that we track this one. Then what else we have? We have the host firmware settings, control affairs update, the generation bookings. Yeah, I believe Jacob is the one writing the features related to this and testing them. Sure. If he sees it, then it's probably there. Okay, this is a bug fix. This is BMO. Milestone 14. Okay. Next one. RFA out of band inspection mode. This is from you, Dimitri.
Yep. The idea is to have fast inspection using Redfish because in the Ironic community we have invested quite a bit of effort in making Redfish-based inspection closer to functionality with the agent one, and we can have very similar inventory. On some hardware, we can even do LLDP discovery. So there's just a few things that cannot be discovered this way, like any DHCP-based information. But on the positive side, you get several seconds of inspection versus tens of minutes. I also welcome comment on the exact form and shape of this proposal and whether you think it needs a proper design proposal or if it's fine this way.
I'm not sure we need design proposal because because I don't know how big of impact this will have on the code, or it might actually require I mean, I think it would be nice to have one, because this is something that could potentially keep growing maybe in the future. Not sure if we can pinpoint how this supposed to work on the first try. Maybe I assume there is also different inspection data that comes back compared to the inbound.
They use the same format.
Oh.
So some data may be missing, of course, but the format is the same.
Okay. And then would we trigger this with an annotation or rough plan?
I designed it to work exactly the same way from the user perspective as the current inspection. You just set different inspection mode, and it works by default on enrollment. And you can retrigger it with annotation if you want to, and you can change inspection mode and can retrigger it again with another annotation. So, for example, if you want to do both inspections for some reason, or if you're not satisfied with the result of fast inspection. But generally, I want to keep the same user experience.
Okay. And how is the hardware support for this, by the way? I'm just asking. It's like, is it good? It's nowadays every vendor supports this, or
It's
hit and
decent.
miss, or
It's decent. I think Cisco UCS have some large missing areas in terms of inspection. Everything else has much more information that we ever need, to be honest. Again, I also cannot guarantee a situation about, I don't know, 10 years old Supermicro. They can be really weird, but that's just reality. They often don't have virtual media either, for example.
There is one problem that can be even on modern servers that are supporting this flow is basically when you use not officially OEM supported disks in that server, like same disks but not officially in vendor list, and basically that simple storage endpoint that lists disk will not show anything.
That's amazing. I think we can now use the storage, not simple storage. But yeah, I hear your point, but I think we can just document that.
Same problems, both simple storage or storage.
It's
It's like on the block list, it detects that this hardware is not supported and just doesn't report anything.
lovely.
At least this was the case with HPs, like a lot of them that I remember.
Yeah, I think we just documented that, yep, not all information can be fetched out of their needs. If you need precise information as the operating system sees it, use the default, and agent inspection will still be the default, by the way, that's a new mode. Just stick with the default inspection, which is longer but more complete. I think it's still a reasonable case for that.
Can we also extend this if, I mean, I didn't review this, but maybe it's already there, like optionally add additional information in some kind of spec or notation, like let's say most of the data is available from the Redfish itself, but like the problem with disk like this, like I don't want to run expansion all the time, right? But I know what the disks are, and maybe I can just like put it in spec or annotation just for like without running the agent flow, like additional required information. I mean, because I know I already did some inspection before, like either manually or like by hands or like running agent, and I can take the needed data out and basically like put it in the object itself. So for the next iterations of the same inspection, I don't need to rerun it, right? I mean, if that's understandable.
Yeah, well, nothing is going to prevent you from editing the hardware data resource. Or
I
really,
don't
we don't
think
have any safeguards around this.
I don't think they're in sync with the spec of the bare metal host. I mean, at least they were not very much in sync.
If that's the case, please file a bug. I mean, eventually we're going to remove hardware details from the status, but so far they have to be in sync.
Maybe we should like next release +1, like make this a priority, because it's kind of a mess with those statuses and the dedicated object, and like second year maybe already with this, right? And still it's not there. Maybe we should like say this, that in +2 releases we just drop this field and figure out how you want to migrate. I mean, if you have some downstream changes. Because I really want to migrate to this object and maybe like have some agent running on the target system that will connect back to Kubernetes cluster and like update the bare metal object with the hardware data, right? But given that we have two sources of information, it's not feasible until we actually drop one.
Yeah, I think we have an issue like a GitHub issue for that, so we can prioritize that. I can add it to a milestone. Yep, I think we can go to the next one if there are no further questions, comments for this. Okay, then I think the only one that we have to check is this. Yeah, okay, there is this guided MetaCube install mission, but I'm sorry, I am completely out of context with this guided MetaCube stuff. Yeah, the link checker is complaining, but I think it's because of this Cloudflare.
Yeah, all those are just bot detection issues. So just close away.
Yeah, this next one, this kubestell, I never used it. So if someone is interested, please give an opinion about this, or if you have any knowledge of how this works, or like
It looks like borderline advertisement to me, to be honest.
yeah, for me too. And my recollection might be incorrect, but my memory is that this whole project, this kubestellar, was written with AI or something, or something like that. But there was some huge AI involvement, if I remember correctly. Like maybe even on KubeCon this was mentioned. So I don't know what to make of this one. to be honest. We cannot accept this because it's not even a question. If I understand this correctly, it's just like a message. Close if not relevant. I think I will just close this one. Or you know what? Let's let it rot away if there won't be any interest or discussion. Let's just leave it like this. The garbage collector will take care of it.
Is this just their ad? that they
Yeah,
did?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, maybe
Basically,
it's better to then close this if it's just their ad.
okay. So guys in the community, is anyone against just closing this one? Because I wanted to be like just kind, but yeah, I guess everyone is fine. Then I will just close this. I will write a message. Okay, I closed it. We can go to the next one if there is anything left. Do you hear me, by the way?
Yes, this is the next one, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this one is we are not mixed infrastructuring. This is one that has been checked before. We decided not to entertain this for now. Yeah, this is invalid. Yeah, so there are stays, invalids, whatnot. I think we checked everything. There has been one that has been filed just minutes ago. And it's on the top. If you refresh the whole list, yeah, this one. This was filed during the triage process. It's for BMO 012.4. Yeah. But it is running or creating BMHs without any boot MAC address. Is that I think okay, this can work with one single BMH, I believe, but is it even an officially supported use case for us that MAC address is boot MAC is not provided?
Yeah, it actually does work for Redfish based stuff. I mean, I'm not sure what doesn't work for them, but inspection works as they suggest. It starts with trying to detect nicks and then goes into the agent inspection, except that some hardware doesn't support this, like SysQCS, as I mentioned before. And in this case, but nothing can be done really. I can comment on this later on.
Okay, thank you.
Have to drop
Because,
now. Next meetings, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Anyways, I think we are at the end, so we checked all these. I don't think we have to now go to stale and go through stale. We don't really have much time left. I can check the stales. Okay, so thanks everyone for joining. Is there any comment, question, anything you folks would like to add or ask or discuss? Anything else? Okay, if nothing, then thanks for joining. Thank you, Adil, for taking over the screen share. And let's meet next week, same time. And until then, have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Bye.